This is breaking news that I'm sure Meghan Markle is not going to like. Has Prince Harry just been removed as a Counsellor of State, which means he cannot rule the UK if the King is incapacitated? Let me break it all down for you. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much got me eye, and oh my goodness. Yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we? Because, news broken has been quietly barred from the role that would allow him to step in for King Charles himself and Prince Andrew. To clarify, so what the deuce is going on? So they will not be amongst the Counsellors of State that King Charles can actually call upon when he heads to the hospital to treat for an enlarged prostate. So they announced on Wednesday last week that King Charles will be in hospital to have this corrective procedure. And so other royal watchers were thinking, well, hang on a minute, whilst King Charles is incapacitated, who's going to be chosen out of the Counsellors of State to essentially rule the UK and the Commonwealth whilst the King cannot? And the thing is, one person that's listed as a Counsellor of State is Hazza. And people are like, really? Like, Hazza could actually be chosen? Well, not now, because the Times has spotted the Hazza and Prince Andrew's Counsellor of State eligibility was actually nullified soon after King Charles ascended to the throne. Now, in the second reading of the Counsellor of State Bill 2022-2023 in the House of Lords in the UK back in November, Lord True said that the royal household confirmed that in practice only working members of the royal family will be called on to act as Counsellors of State. And guess what? Hazza ain't a working royal anymore. Hazza, Megsy. I told you Megsy wouldn't like this news. Can you hear the dishes already breaking in the kitchen of Montecito Royale? Because I can. And yeah, this working members stipulation has largely flew under the radar until now because, this has just come out of the blue as far as we're concerned. King Charles, all of a sudden, going into hospital for an operation. He's obviously going to be incapacitated, hopefully for a short period of time. So at that point, who potentially is going to be called upon from the Council of State pool to take care and act for King Charles whilst King Charles can't do that for himself? Yeah, ain't going to be Hazza. Sorry, Megsy. Not sorry, Megsy. But yeah, although Hazza and Prince Andrew are technically Counsellors of State, both have stepped back from royal duties. They're not working royal family members anymore, so they will not be called upon for this particular responsibility. And for those that don't know, for those that are thinking, hang on a minute, I'm hearing this Counsellors of State malarkey left, right and centre, and I have no idea what it means. Well, let's go to the royal family official website itself. And here we go. So the Counsellors of State, in the event that the King cannot undertake his official duties as sovereign on a temporary basis due to illness or absence abroad, 2 or more Counsellors of State are appointed by letters patent to act in His Majesty's place. Exactly what it says on the tin there. When King Charles is incapacitated, cannot fulfill his duties because of, for example, he's having an operation, right? Then, 2 or more Counsellors of State are appointed and they are acting as if they are King Charles. As in, they are then technically ruling the UK and the Commonwealth then at that point. Ooh, yes. How's it though? So, by law, Counsellors of the State include the sovereign spouse and the next 4 people in the line of succession who are over the age of 21. So, technically speaking, right, Prince William and Princess Catherine's children are higher up the succession line than Prince Hazza. But because they're under the age of 21, they don't qualify as being Counsellors of State. I mean, they're just children, right? So, fair enough. So, yeah, Prince Hazza technically is within that first 4 of royal family members that are over the age of 21 in line to the throne. But it doesn't matter now because he's not a working royal, so he can't be called upon as a Counsellor of State in this capacity. So they are authorised to carry out most of the official duties of the sovereign, for example, attending Privy Council meetings, signing routine documents, receiving the credentials of new ambassadors to the new United Kingdom. However, there are a number of core constitutional functions that may not be delegated. May not, but is a possibility, right? So Commonwealth matters, the dissolving of Parliament, except on King Charles's express instruction, the creation of peers, and appointing a Prime Minister. Now, this is the thing, right? When King Charles ascended to the throne, he obviously, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, knew that there was a problem, that Hazard was part of the core four. And yeah, that was going to create problems, right? Because of everything that Hazard and Megsy have done to the royal family in the UK up to present, right? So what did he do, right? Immediately after he ascended to the throne, this. So in November 2022, so literally less than 2 months after he ascended to the throne, he put in a formal request to change a little bit of the law surrounding the Counsellors of State. What he wanted to do was he wanted to add on 2 extra people, Princess Anne and Prince Edward. Oh, yes. And so the legislation to make this possible was the Counsellors of State Bill, and it was fast-tracked. So there was no messing about. King Charles was like, look, I need 2 extra people as Counsellors of State. We've got a problem here. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, right? Hazard's technically a Counsellor of State, but yeah, we're not going to call upon him. And of course, Andrew's technically a Counsellor of State, but obviously we're not going to call upon him either, right? So yeah, I need 2 more people to technically, I suppose, as far as I'm concerned, replace those 2, right? Here you go, Princess Anne and Prince Edward. So it was all fast-tracked through Parliament, and it was intended to resolve an awkward constitutional problem about who could deputise for the king if he was not available to carry out his duties as head of state. Or, essentially, if you're going to kind of reverse it, resolve an awkward constitutional problem of who not to deputise for the king if he was not available to carry out his duties as head of state. Now, moving on to the last bit here, because Prince Hazard and Prince Andrew are no longer working royals, Parliament felt that it was best to expand the number of Counsellors of State to include Princess Anne and Prince Edward, who could now be called upon to stand in for King Charles. The Counsellors of State Act 2022 amends the Regency Acts of 1937 to 1953, which were upheld as precedents until this particular point. So, yeah, just to essentially recap this absolutely breaking news, Hazard and Prince Andrew, yeah, they're technically Counsellors of State, but they've basically been removed as far as I'm concerned because they cannot be called upon. Hazard cannot be called upon to deputise for the king if he is incapacitated, i.e. going under an operation for a prostate situation. And yeah, can you still hear the plates being smashed in that kitchen back over Montecito Royale way? Because I can. I told you Megsy wasn't going to like this news, that's for sure. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our alternate tribe. I'll be honest with you, help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there and hopefully cause a Christopher Boozy meltdown on Twitter. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about what I've just gone through, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.